Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2019 edition with our Chinese playthrough here. In the last episode, we've found some new war targets. We've set up another one of these train lines going into Russia. Russia, as you see, loves us now. These are a gem for increasing and maintaining reputation, that's for sure. We were unfortunately greeted with the bad news of apparently someone dying in our country. It's Protection for Senior Citizens Association or something like that, so nobody, I guess, kind of important to the playthrough. I mean, most of the characters aren't important to begin with. The Deimos Space Program Probe thingamajig is now waiting a response. For this round, I have been proposed by Brazil and Kazakhstan. Gonna try to say it the way I think is correct this time. And Kazakhstan's offering 1.6 mil. It's more than Brazil's offering, so we are going to accept them since they will probably contribute more, and we'll see who else we can get. Usually, these probe ones don't get as many applicants because they're not marked as being as interesting. There's not as much research and such to gain from them. They're super cheap. You usually get the most amount of applying to join when it's an expensive, more consequential program, and they'll usually, of course, offer more money then as well. Oh no!
To attend the ceremony?
Oh no, my mom! My mom's dead. My mom. Whoa. Wait, no, I can't see it. Wife? Wait, where's my mom? Where's my mom? Why isn't she here? She's dead. Where is my family? Where's my family and friends? My mom's not even here anymore. She just doesn't exist. She's dead and they got rid of her? That's my mom. Who else is gonna harass me every time I go to war with someone? I found her. I found my mom. She was in the newspaper. She died at the age of 94. That's fucking impressive. She was popular. How can a mom be popular? And who's this? You died too. Oh, you're the other person that died. You succumbed to disease at the age of 65. Yo, my mom lived way longer than you did. What disease did you have? So you guys remember that event I keep having where the Syrian Brethren of Islam keep kidnapping a journalist, but they don't actually, it doesn't happen, it just keeps repeating and nothing comes of it? Well, turns out Russia's having that too. And turns out North Korea's having that too. And good God, I hope no one else is having it. It seems like this bug is just spreading to literally even more nations. Looks like our new agents are finally in. The 50, we've got 49 of them so far, new agents. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a network in Micronesia to start looking for, just to see on the off chance we can get anything on Micronesia. I mean, you never know. We find some dirt on some surprisingly tiny countries. While we don't plan on attacking them too soon, just switch them over to cyber attack whenever we need to switch them over. I just got the last dude, so I'm going to toss these guys into Solomon Islands. Basically, I'm just trying to get networks set up in all these, like, East Asian or East China Sea type areas. Just this oceanic region in general. Just because that's where real-life China's goals today tend to lie for the area they'd like to dominate. Alright, so it looks like we're not getting anyone else applying for this. Of course, didn't expect very much, considering that it's literally just an orbital probe, and even countries with no space achievements whatsoever don't feel that an orbital probe is necessarily worth their time in taking part of. Of course, I do know that I can ask countries to join, but it's not something I'm so worried about. So let's set this up for 95% and see if we can launch it. No. Let's set this for 95.5%. No. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find the little golden number here. I guess let's go with just 96. Not even 96 is going to work. 96.4. Okay, there we go. That's what we're looking for. I wish I could just literally put it, finance the rest, just a finance what's missing button. Because there's no way to make this completely precise, given that the game does a whole bunch of rounding. But here we go. Here's our Deimos Probe space program starting. And since we did go so long without setting up another one, and we do want to stay dominant in space, that's one of the goals I set for this, let's find another mission to do. Probably something similarly inconsequential. I found our target, Ganymede. It's a moon of Jupiter. Once again, orbital probe. No one's done it yet. Such a boring, easy little mission. let's go ahead and type in Ganymede Probe and set it to 575 million. And let's create it and see who we find. So this Deimos probe is one of these missions where, because it's so far, there's a launch window to actually get the probe there. And so I was able to move this back actually a couple months, and there's still going to be a 0% risk of failure with the current budget, it seems. So I decided to go ahead with that, so it will happen sooner. Of course, the more and more of these space programs I make leading out into these further and further locations, of course, more and more time it's going to take to even get there. Forget about even starting the mission. You can see this little map. You see all these little blue markers here? All these little blue things you see are us, which is really amazing. You can see our presence in space has been increasing drastically. Of course, nearing half of the things I've done so far are just space probes, but that gets us started. We can then move on from there if we get the chance. Otherwise, when it comes to big objectives, getting those bases built are my bigger goals. And those can only be done, as far as I'm aware, on the moon and on Mars. So none of these other planets really matter for that, unfortunately. So because I haven't done anything in quite a while economy-wise, our growth has gone down to now under 4%. It's not going to tick back up just this moment because nothing would trigger it. And the main reason I did this was just to see what would happen to it, especially because inflation was slowly ticking up. You can actually look at the growth of the inflation over the past year. You see it slowly but surely ticking up. It's not that important. It's not affecting us that badly at its current rate. It's a very good rate, way under the world average. One of the lowest in the world by the looks of it. But I did want to see how it was going to affect it, and since growth is already in such a good place, I'm going to be a little more strategic with it, again, like I was for most of the playthrough, instead of, just when I was trying to be, which I still am kind of attempting to be, super expansionist with growing and modernizing my military. I don't want to get inflation too high again if I can help it. Of course, we have time. We have all the time in the world, technically. We can sit here and let time go by. I don't need to get all this stuff done in such a short period of time. And I completely forgot. Montenegro wanted to meet with me. And it turns out they want to sell me maize. They want to sell me maize. Okay? You produce way more than you need. I produce almost as much as I need. I'm not buying any. You're not going to sell me all of that which I need, but you will give me a fairer price. You may be willing to negotiate. You might just be desperate to get a deal. Let's find out. Oh, you're not willing to negotiate at all. Montenegro, you're in Europe. You're right here. I'm quite surprised you want to trade with me. You should theoretically dislike me. I have my next sector picked out for nationalization, or minority nationalization, and that is milk for 22 billion approximately. One thing to note about these prices, by the way, is they're not the same as they were at the start of the game. The AI plating the US is doing a terrible job, and as you see, the dollar-euro parity is going down. Well, now, that doesn't mean a terrible job. That just means he's stepping away from the current economy configuration of the US. Technically, with the way the US wants to be, this is almost a good thing. And that's because it would make them a better producer, better manufacturer. Of course, that means with the value of the dollar going down, that means the dollar amounts we're seeing are becoming less and less like real life as we go on. And I can feel it. I can feel it in my spending.
Our infiltrated agents.
I can feel it in the numbers that I'm being given. But I think I'm keeping used to it. I'd still understand it better than I'd ever understand the Chinese currency. There's no way to feel it out unless you make some kind of big mistake with it. Well, I don't know how to feel about that. The leader of Iran just got deposed. What the hell? Now there's some new guy, and he looks kind of like the old guy. It's just with a tan. And now the Muslim community leader is dead. Everyone's dying. 2023, man. Year of the death. Fuck. Another kidnapping. Although every time there's a kidnapping, it does nothing. I'm starting to think that every single kidnapping that I see in the papers, and there's a lot of kidnapping in the papers, they're all just fake, broken events at this point. That's what I'm starting to think. That being said, looks like we are ready to pick for the Ganymede Probe, which of course is going to end up being Russia. A little bit more money than the last probe, so I guess they were a little more interested this time. Another easy target for some nationalization, and that is sugar beet. It's not even $1 billion, man. It just went up a little bit as the day went by. But it's very, very cheap, and its nearest neighbor, sugar cane, seems, well, okay, it's not as cheap, but only about $8 billion. I'm going to go ahead and do these two at the same time because they're so cheap. These are two more of the farming. If you want to take a look how much of this we've nationalized already, it's this symbol. As you see, not too much. I'm going slowly so I don't fuck anything up. We're living in surprisingly uneventful times, so now I'm going to go ahead and just get another sector partially nationalized. This time it's going to be sheep for less than 12 billion. I'm also going to go ahead here and order another 100 missile launchers because our growth is still into more reasonable ranges. It's finally reached the point where inflation's going down, so I figured this would be a good chance to get another 100 of these in since they're going to take a while to arrive anyway, as you can see. Oh look, a journalist is kidnapped by the Syrian Brethren of Islam. Again. I wonder what this is going to lead to. In the second round of funding the Ganymede Probe, we have Azerbaijan trying to give us 5.3 mil. I will take that, which means this actually got more funding so far than the last one. I imagine that they'll be the last person to try to give me money for it, but I'll still run it through another round just to see. And now to keep up the momentum, we are going to purchase some shares in cotton, which is surprisingly cheap. Just think, cotton used to be one of the most valuable things in the world. I produce, like, over 21% of the world's cotton. And, I don't know, I just thought it would be worth more than that. And now we'll buy colza. And now we'll buy oranges. Seriously, this is just literally all I've been doing. Like, once a week, I buy a new sector because literally nothing is happening. And now we'll nuke Washington, D.C. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're buying another sector. This time it's flowers. The oldest person in the country is dead. What a surprise. But you know what's not a surprise? We're buying more shares. This time in sugar for about 24 billion. Now we get to do something a little different though. Kind of. Looks like we're waiting on a response here on the Ganymede Probe. And we got two offers, Venezuela and Belarus. I'm surprised actually that we have any more. But hey man, Belarus is offering a little more. Join the party. The effect of the last purchase has already worn off, so we're going to go ahead and order another 100 of these missile launchers. We're just back and forth. Order, buy, order, buy, order, buy. That's like all this episode is, because literally nothing's happening. I'm waiting on cyber attacks. I'm just working on economic things, but the things that I have necessarily to work on right now are kind of repetitive. So these missile launchers are going to come in kind of piece by piece as we get them built. In stacks of about 100, and I don't want to piss off my minister and shit by dismantling 2,170 of them at once when I get them all replaced by the rank 4s. So I'm going to go ahead and just get 70 of them out of the way right now, and we'll go piecemeal by piecemeal on that later on as we slowly swap over to using rank 4s. I'll probably end up surpassing this number though. I'll probably go for like 2,500 or 3,000 total for the rank 4s. We'll see where I decide to land. Oh, in India. Poor India's... Wait, what? Oh, this is part of India. I'm about to say, what? How is this India? Apparently it's part of India. Alright, cool. You know what else is cool? Maize. You know what's even cooler? Being a minority shareholder of maize for only 22 billion, which is surprisingly cheap considering we produce 1/5 of the world's supply. I'm surprised we even produce that much. Yeah, I was about to say, the US should produce way more than we do, and they do. True to real life right there. Jesus Christ, that earthquake in India killed over 2,000 and over 6,000 injured. What the hell? That happened in 2 minutes? That's insane. My growth just randomly spiked up from like 3.74% to 5.35%. I can't say I understand quite what did that, but I'll take it. We recently finished the new military base over in Georgia, so we gotta put some troops in it. It seems a lot of troops are left over from when I invaded, Myanmar. I always want to say Burma. And it looks like this unit stack's a little bugged, so let's take half of it, I guess, and send it over here. I feel like this would be a very easy place to take anyway. It's right next to the place, and how many troops do they even have total? 21k, less than 21k for the whole country. I gotta get a satellite over there. What's the most convenient or awkward place I can pull a satellite from? Okay, most of my awkwardly placed satellites are moved into more convenient locations now. I've done a lot of work with the satellites, like off camera, by the way. I move them into location, I use them to scout ahead, that kind of jazz. Wow, this is a busy day for military production, man. 50 missile launchers delivered. I remember ordering these 2 pairs of missile launchers at the same time. That was like my second order. And 200 tanks all just happened to deliver at the exact same day. Well, I mean, that's pretty awesome. The new missile launchers being received, that was about 100. I'm going to go ahead and dismantle another 100 of the rank 3s for now. Get that down to about 2,000. And it looks like we are waiting on a reply for the current bout of funding for the Ganymede Probe, which Vietnam wants to join basically for no money whatsoever. Given how little they want to give, I'm going to assume, once again, that that's the last one, but I'll let it go through the last round just in case. Speaking of just in case, I think we should purchase some shares in Fowl. Just in case. Just as a little note here too, I have been noticing over time that the rich have been becoming richer and the poor have actually been becoming poorer. That has to do with how earlier in the playthrough I made a lot of changes and got rid of a lot of things that the poor were being given, or, you know, just not rich individuals were being given to help them kind of keep up in order to get out of debt, since we did start out with a good amount of debt. Now most of my money is going into reforming the economy in a way that I can make max profit and keeping the army building without having my growth explode, and improving things where I need to improve things. I will end up... Ooh, we got a meeting here. I will end up going back in and spending money on getting the poor back into a better place. But right now, the numbers are still so tiny that it's not really bothering me at the moment. 200 more tanks got delivered. That's awesome. And I think I came into here and... dietary risks? Yes. This is the undernutrition, like the undernourished parts of the world right here. And, okay, no, right here. World hunger. Undernourished population worldwide. I have found that this has causes, and I guess these causes add to it: overpopulation, social inequity, natural disasters, and global warming. These are really, really indirect things to be causing undernourished population. The way I see it, purchasing power should cause, like, undernourished population. Actual supply of food should cause undernourished population, not these weird-ass things that were added in, what, the 2018 or the 2019 edition of the game? I think these came with the 2019 edition of the game. I don't really understand why that's what affects that. I don't know if there's anything else, but apparently this is the kind of shit that affects it. I don't know why. My dad! He's dead! Hong the Pooh! That sounds weird. Well, on some exciting news, we just got the ability to cyber attack Bangladesh and India. I really don't know which one I want to go for first. Bangladesh is smaller and would be easy to absorb. Note, I don't have permission to attack any of these fuckers from the UN, so I will be labeled a warmonger, and it will hurt the popularity factor, which is fine. I've just sent some more troops over here. We're gonna probably go for Bangladesh first, just because it's weaker, and I can get to it. It gotta take a weird-ass path. It would be easier to attack this if we got, India first, but I'm still going to set them up first here. So my cyber attack against Bangladesh is scheduled. I have 40,000 troops moving off to the border here. It seems to be, it's not exactly the closest part that we can go. We can make this closer if we, like, go up here and then over here. I'll probably get over here and then immediately start moving into the country, because the cyber attack should be just about ready by that point. And assuming we avoid getting into any conflicts while passing through their territory, then theoretically I should be able to move through unimpeded, except with nothing more than an ultimatum telling me to GTFO, basically. The head of Equatorial Guinea would like to meet with me, and he would like to sell me natural gas. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess I still don't produce enough natural gas, do I? Alright, sure, but only if you're going to give me a good deal. Like, we got to negotiate or you're not getting shit from me. Alright? Okay, looks like you don't want shit. You want a coffee at least? You don't even want a coffee. You're a dickhead. We got 200 tanks delivered, so that's pretty awesome. I'm going to get these moved over here. We're real close to the border, so they should be getting pissed off real soon. Let's speed this up over here. Okay, so we're on the border. Now let's start moving right towards their capital, basically immediately. This is their capital, right? Where the head of state... This is a different kind of city. We haven't seen this before. Let's head to what I think is the nearest thing to the head of state residence. I think. Hopefully it won't cause an issue that we're running right over this city. So our military cyber attack has happened. They kept sending helicopters out to like attack us, but they were only going to where we were when they were ordered to move out. They didn't actually attack us. They kept missing, basically. Either way, we are moving now unimpeded. The cyber attack has hit. We're about 125 miles out from our destination. I'm going to end up, I'll do this right now, split these into different size stacks, basically. Let's get you going there. Let's get you going there. It seems to fuck with their pathfinding a little bit, but hopefully that's not necessarily an issue. We did start out pretty close since I basically gave us a head start. And now we can put some gas on the pedal here. Some nationalization. And watch our troops advance unimpeded through Bangladesh, which, by the way, is actually pretty populated. 180 million population. That's nothing bad right there. 500 billion GDP, so that's actually rather large. Their army isn't tiny. This is bigger than Myanmar's was, I think. Or at least it's one of the biggest we've ever gone up against. That being said, their country's so tiny, it shouldn't really be an issue. You know, for being socialist, they didn't really like me. Either way, here we go. Our troops are approaching, and we're entering the city. Which is funny, it's like two different town setups in one. It's weird. Okay.
Governmental cell.
Let's get into the city here and select our troops. This is interesting. I've never seen this setup. Maybe it's like a cultural setup kind of deal. Either way, we got 2 entry points and we're sending our troops in towards the bunker. This is so weird. I really don't know what to make of this. Either way, here we go. Troops coming in. Let's get reinforcements set up. We got more coming in from the north. North. Come on. Alright, we're approaching it now. They should have a lot of troops here, theoretically. Yeah, they do have a good amount of troops here. So, combat is beginning. Offensive strategy, no. I don't want you moving any of my troops. We got this guy left. Let's head these guys in the back, except you start taking the bunker now. Just to confirm there's nobody else back here. Nope, there's nobody else back here. Good. Awesome. So you guys, I mean, you're kind of good to stay there if you want. You guys will just basically form up right outside the place, and we will just kind of surround it. Head of state residence. Yeah, sorry, head of state, you're getting fucked at this point. I'll set you guys up over there. Yeah, that was easy. I thought they would have had a lot of troops in here, but I guess not. Nah, dude, they only have a few troops. I don't know where most of their troops are. They got a good amount of tanks in here, at least, but we don't really have anything to worry about. Most of their troops are not in the capital, probably in their military bases. Bangladesh is going to be an easy score. No warmonger penalties yet, at least that's nice. Here's where most of their troops are, in their tanks. Yeah, running into the tanks wouldn't be fun, necessarily. Let's just set these guys up. You never know what could go wrong, so, you know, just in case. The bunker's over half captured now. Let's speed things up here. You can go over there. You can go... Oh, and now there's a space program. Alright, sure, let's... Alright, and we took the capital. There's a space program, and we took the... Oh, shit, it canceled me watching the thing. You declared war on me. They declared war on me literally just as I took their capital. That's how quickly I took their capital. I don't know where the fuck this space program's launching from, by the way. I clicked to go watch it, but it didn't go. It didn't go. Where's my space program? Current mission. Is it Sunkiss? Is it Sunkiss? No, I don't think so. Well, I don't know where that is launching from, unfortunately. And there's no quick way to figure it out unless I go look through all of them. That being said, we shouldn't need... Damn, look at how glitched out this has gotten over here. There we go. But okay, that's the war with Bangladesh basically right there. Oh boy, we declared war. They call on the UN to issue an ultimatum. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Ganymede, no new partner for that space program, so we're going to go to funding, and we're going to fund the rest of it, which should be something like 94%. You can see current, that's all of our partners. They do get credit, so like you can argue that just doing these yourself is probably better, but since these are all my friends anyway, I don't really mind them getting credit for it. So let's go ahead, and when can we get away with doing this at the earliest? Okay, so this is one of those ones where it's like, yeah, we have a set launch timetable. 8/6, that is the earliest date we can go. And we are good for 100% chance of success. So let's go ahead and approve the program, and bam, getting that through. Beginning of the Ganymede Probe space program. Now, just speed through time a little bit here. We do have the capital, and they have surrendered just a few days after declaring war. Bad thoughts. Oh, my faithful friend is still here to get on my nerves every time I attack somewhere. Ganymede space program. Okay, yep, ready for liftoff. Anything special in the papers? Probably not. Just stuff about the war. Some funerals. What the hell? Violent fighting. Oh yeah, there was a riot in Slovakia earlier, and the police got overwhelmed, and the president got deposed. It was kind of crazy. Oh, I see you have some nuclear power. 3rd generation nuclear power plant. That's actually kind of impressive. Let's check the military screen here. So what did we get? Alright, cool. They've surrendered. We now own the country. Shooting their leader at dawn, or something like that. Death toll. We've lost $0. There were a total of 126 casualties on our side of the war, and it cost us literally nothing. Here's the peace treaty. We will integrate the country. Perfect. Now speed it up again a little bit. What are we going to get? They had a lot of commandos by the looks of it. They have some terrible, terrible ships, which we are not going to be able to get rid of, unfortunately, for whatever reason, due to the way that this game works. And here's where a lot of their soldiers were. Oh man, we just got so much stuff. We're getting like overwhelmed. Seniors in danger. The purchasing power barely. Yeah. Listen, your families can take care of you. I'll deal with poverty later. Alright, so now we have this to look over. So we got a naval base. I'll keep it. We got this with a whole bunch of shit that I don't want. So we're gonna, oh man, look at all the stuff we just got that I don't want. My minister's gonna hate me again. Alright, let's take this one at a time. We'll start with fighter planes. We'll dismantle all of our fighter planes. It's not a very large amount. It should be fine. We'll dismantle all the tier 1 tanks. We'll dismantle all the tier 2 tanks. There's already several hundred things right here. It is sure to upset the guy that we're with. We got a couple thousand missiles from them. We'll dismantle these helicopters. Only 14 helicopters. Looks like the biggest chunk of it is going to be the rank 1 missile launchers. So we got to just keep an eye on our situation with our military advisors. Look, see, this is the first country I think we've taken over that has had this little city model. It's weird. It's like a more Middle Eastern one, I guess. I don't know. This city seems to have changed now that we've taken it over anyway. There's a lot of troops here. So we don't need all these troops here. Let's send whatever ones aren't glitched out right now back here to get these numbers back up. What else is here? Another whole bunch, really. Let's send 34,000 out to, I don't know where, actually. What could use more troops? Do you have enough troops spread around the place here? No, not really. All right, so I know exactly what I'm going to do with these troops. I'm going to take 34,000 troops, and we are going to send them over here, one of these places. We'll send them out over to this place, this airbase, so that they're ready to invade somewhere when we need them, because these we just got more troops. As you can see, we just got over 100,000 more troops. We basically got all their troops because we barely killed any of their troops.
Our governmental...
So yeah, we just got up. But oh shit, did we get any terrorists? We did. The Chinese Brigades of Islam. Which, okay, well, we can get rid of those guys pretty quickly, hopefully. Alright, so far I'm not hated by my minister, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dismantle the rest of these. Maybe the things that they hated the most was actually when I was dismantling bases. I don't have a reason to dismantle bases here because, well, there's not a lot of them. I mean, there's a couple ground bases. They're spread out pretty fine. One naval base, one air base that I can really see. Two, and they're spread across, so I'm kind of fine with keeping these, honestly. Alright, my ministers don't seem to hate me. Our budget's reassessed, everything's adjusted, and we can now say that we own Bangladesh. This is a very populated province, and it has no infrastructure whatsoever. By the looks of it, yeah, like basically nothing. So that's unfortunate. However, we have a nice full episode here. I'm glad we got to do something other than constantly buying out industrial sectors. Next time, maybe we'll invade India. I might put that off a little bit just because this is going to be a big boy chore. They actually have, I checked, they have 100,000 units in their capital, meaning their head of state residence is probably packed with troops. So, for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.